Divine greetings, entities, energies, lovelies, bodies of light, seekers and sojourners of truth, the 144, chosen of the chosen of the chosen few. You know who you are. I am Celestial Earth, and I greet you in the love that lights the truth from my heart to yours, always in the divine energy essence of it all, reporting to you live from none other than 5D in the place to be, fifth dimension. Welcome, welcome to the 5D experience. If you are just arriving, for those who are already here, continue to feel welcomed in all the experiences, good, bad, and the ugly. Right? Let me give way to the wind. For those of you who don't know, I am in the panhandle, and with our weather, what they're saying now, the storm, and as I'm speaking about right now, is the energetic emergency, and there is one, right? For those of you who saw the live, I got rest, going on 2 days with no sleep and just moving and moving, and I got some rest. So I'm sharing the words. I've just been watching the weather, looking at nature, listening to nature, listen to the news in nature, and not the outside external news that is saying, something else, right? So as usual, I bring you the news to infuse, if you so choose to infuse with this light grid activation, to infuse with the truth on the light grid. And remember, if you choose not to, that's okay too, but be prepared to be fried on the grid, because especially right now with these energetic energies, energetic emergency. And I felt some of that yesterday, as I was saying. I felt some of that, you got something wrong right there. And that's what a lot of us are feeling, like that. I feel like that, on Family Feud, when you get the wrong answer, So a lot of us are getting that right now. But these energetic emergencies, right before I came on, I heard the sirens, woo, woo, and the winds were very heavy. You might see it pick up again because it's been pretty sporadic. It's kind of just moving at its own rhythm, so to speak. And it's through this storm that some of you may see, if you watch the news, that's coming up the coast of Florida, along, out in the Gulf, heading up into Georgia. And that's a story in and of itself. For those who have eyes to see and ears to hear, this is also a message for everyone, whether you are in these areas or not. There is an urgency. There's an energetic urgency, and the winds are telling it. The birds are telling it. I'm still looking up now and literally seeing the winds pull back, right? So this energetic emergency, it's like a slingshot, and we're seeing a slingshot, a pull back to the north, in order to, like when you pull a slingshot back and it forwards, it's like its energy is being pulled back. 2D consciousness. There goes the wind again. This is the hurricane. For some of you who may be watching it on the news and be like, oh, this is what we're getting. A lot of wind. Not really rain, maybe a little drizzle here and there, no rain. But I don't say that to diminish what's really happening behind all of this. I'm really speaking to the energies behind all of this. And the 2D consciousness is really highlighting it for us. I'm listening to the trees, the wisdom in the wind that are allowing the trees to communicate the way they're communicating in the atmospheric body, right? And it's being pulled back, this slingshot, into the north node. Pull back northward in order to southwards, to catapult and go southwards. Why am I saying that? Because as I'm sitting here watching the news, all the birds that are flying over are like heading south, right? The winds, the clouds and the trees, as I've been noticing, are blowing north. So as I listen to that, there's the 2D consciousness. See, we got to recognize what's really happening as we're catapulting into 5D. The 2D consciousness, the energy, the energetic environment is pulling. It's almost like when a tsunami wave is coming, and the line recedes first. Like there's this receding line that pulls back in order for the wave to come forward. That's kind of what's happening energetically. There's this receding line that's pulling, right? The clouds, the trees, they're pulling. This is 2D consciousness that is pulling this way in order to catapult 3D consciousness. Why do I say 3D? Because the animals, the birds, us, we all are a part of the 3D consciousness of this earth, right? Before any of this animated life force was here, which is the Sekhem, right? Those of you who know when I say that, Sa, Sekhem, Sahu. Sa is the breath of life. Sa is just it in existence. That would be more of 2D consciousness. Sekhem, that would be when they say God moved his face upon the earth. That would be that 2D consciousness. Sahu, sorry, not Sahu. Sa, Sekhem. Sekhem is the life force energy in animation, the animated life force energy. That would be us. That would be the animals, the birds. That would be us having the experience of the breath of life through us, right? And Sahu is when we have our spiritual awareness. When we reach our Sahu is when we, through this experience, have an awareness of our Sa, right? Through our Sekhem, we return to the Sa with a risen light within us that has had the experience through the Sekhem. So it is now the Sahu, right? The breath of life that has been risen, right? Through the Sekhem. So this consciousness, this 3D consciousness, hold on, got a call coming in. Ooh. This 3D consciousness, the birds are representing this. So I'm seeing it, it's flying south. Now, if you have watched my videos, knowing that the directions are the elements, or the elements are directions. So as the birds are flying south, what is happening? Let me parallel this and explain what is happening. So as the energetic environment is pulling north is the fire, and the fire is the northward direction that we're moving in. The fire lights the way. The fire purifies the impurities away. So coming forward, coming northbound, the energies are pulling us into the, where is our north node? Our north node is in Aries, pulling us as it draws us into our soul sovereignty. It's pulling us back. And this is to also utilize the energies that we are having in this ecliptic window, pulling that forward to slingshot that way in the southern direction. Because where are the birds going? Where are our spiritual thoughts going? Because the birds metaphysically represent our spiritual thoughts. They are heading south. South is what is in the past. North is in the future. So our south node is what we need to take care of in the past. Why would we be getting slingshot back to the past? Not to live in the past, but to go and handle what we need to handle. It is an energetic emergency to take care of what needs to be taken care of. I don't know who need to hear it, but I'm saying it for those who need to hear it. Take it from those of us in the panhandle. Look at the wisdom in the wind. The trees are blowing in a direction that it wants us to see what's happening. And I'm just looking at, get out. That's all I kept hearing. Get out. Go where you need to go. Right? Whether physically, mentally, spiritually, get out. Get out of the old paradigm. Get out of the old ways. Get out of the old stories. Get out of the old traditions. Get out. Allow the energy. See, the wind just got louder as I said that. Allow the energetic environment, the 2D consciousness, to pull you into your soul sovereignty, to catapult your 3D consciousness into the south, to get what you need to get out of the past. Your spiritual thoughts need to go into the south, needs to go into where south node is represented. The energetic emergency is, we're having an emergency in our social dynamics. The social dynamics are shifting and changing, right? We're being called, and this is to help us into 5D. For those who may be saying, okay, well, this is very important. I'm getting the message this way. Open your eyes, open your ears for those who have eyes to see and ears to hear what the message is saying to you, not just in the physical, literal, what's happening with the wind blowing. I'm talking to the energies behind it all, the energy that is behind this, right? And so what I'm noticing dimensionally is that the 2D is pulling, is the slingshot that's pulling back in order to sling us forward into the 3D, through the 3D, and through the way that we should be looking at it, right? Slingshotting us to the south so we can unlearn what we need to unlearn, unwrite what we need to unwrite, so we can relearn, rewrite, reprogram, so we can move into the next level of 5D, so you can understand your fourth dimension experience. Because see, a lot of people don't realize that 4D. That 4D is the experience. What is happening in 3D as we expands us into the 4D, which is experiencing time. And when we get through the 4D is when we understand the true essence of time, which is the creative expression, the creative existence or experience happening within the realms of time, and the way that we are to understand time, and how time gives way to this creation. Time orders the structure of this creation, this creative process of us, the 3D activity, time after time after time. So we have to experience the 4D in order to even get into 5D. A lot of us are being called into this energetic emergency to recognize the 4D experience that we're having within 5D. If you're already in 5D, it's to recognize the 4D experience within 5D. For those who have not quite gotten there, it's to recognize the 4D experience into 5D, to help you enter into 5D, which is expressions, right? You can't understand the expressions without understanding existence of time, without understanding the order of time. It is creative expression, not expression, sorry, the creative activity or the creative existence within time. It is experiencing the creative existence in time. All right, so I say that so that, let me turn up the light. Turn up the light in here, baby. Extra bright, I want y'all to see me. Turn up the light in here, baby. All right, so I say that to really hit it home, there is some energetic work we got to do. This storm is like there's something a brewing. There's a storm a brewing energetically, and we got to see what that is. The social dynamics is really being shaken up, and I mean on an individual level, collectively, interpersonally, intrapersonally, in all ways. In all ways, intrapersonally. There's so many ways that the storm is brewing up something. There's the energy behind it all, right? And I'm saying this so that we really understand, overstand, and understand this energetic emergency. Get out. Get out of the old ways. This is what this energy is bringing to us. We must change now. We must change. You're in this type of revolutionary change like yesterday. And as intelligent 2D consciousness is, it's pulling us into our souls. It's saying, hey, it's like it's pulling you. Look at your soul sovereignty. Come into your soul sovereignty. And in order to get here, I'm going to slingshot you back. Slingshot. Back into the collective consciousness, back into the past to undo what you need to do in the way that you have had things set up in your mind, in your life, world, and affairs, to undo that. So you can enter into the fifth dimension, but it's going to take going back into the past. So those who say they like to leave it in the past, that is not the way to go about it. We don't have that option. We must be slingshot, catapulted back into the past. The spiritual thoughts are flying against the wind. The wind is blowing this way. And look at it. The wind is still carrying us to where we need to go. It's pulling us to understand your soul sovereignty, but it is catapulting you back into the south. It's saying, go take care of what you need to take care of. Spiritual thoughts is the one that's saying, hey, let's go and do what needs to be done. Get into your higher self. Get the bird's eye view of what is happening in your south node in Libra. Finding the justice and the balance by finding you and seeing how you show up in all that is happening to you, through you, around you, in you. All of that is coming to pass. Do you see you? Pack up what you need to pack up. London Bridge is falling down. All of that other stuff is falling down, and it's all okay. It's beautiful, and it's a beautiful way to go, but we have to be willing to see that with the abundant mindset. We have to be willing to remove fear, guilt, shame, all of these things that hold us back, grief. Whatever you feel like you're losing is an illusion. When you are in a mind state of abundance, you see no loss. You see no guilt. You only see pleasure, the sacral chakra. You only are able to see pleasure in what is happening around you, because what did God say every day? Oh, I'm well pleased. It is good and I am well pleased. We have to have that type of mind state when we in our God body, when we in our God self. Whatever comes our way, it is happening for a reason. It's bringing you something, and you must say, it is good and I am well pleased. I wear no guilt and bear no guilt, which is a block of the sacral, because that would imply a lot of people, if you can't see, I'm going to just say it, if you can't see pleasure, there go the winds again. If you can't see pleasure, it is because you are in a mind state of lack. So all you see is the lack that is around you. You must be in a mind state of abundance in order to see pleasure in everything, good, bad, and ugly, because you know it's all here for the good. If it's ugly, you need to see it. If it's bad, you need to see it. And yeah, if it's good, you need to see it as well, because it confirms and affirms the direction that you should be going in. The ugly and the bad lets you know something needs to change. This is where I got to change. This is where something needs to be transmuted. Right? So I share that with us so we have this understanding, overstanding, understanding of what is in this energetic emergency. Things are going off all around us. Pay attention to the signs and the times within the signs of times. And I'm saying this from where I'm sitting, like a sitting duck over here in the panhandle. This is why I got to be up and moving. And all the energies want to give me such a fight to hold back. But I'm saying, nope, I'm going to take care of what I need to take care of. Because there's some things that, like I said, that debris that needs to be taken care of, so that I can move into the next level. Looking back in the past, look in your life and see anywhere in your life where you got to look back at something in your household, in your job life, in your familial life, whatever it is deconstructing to reconstruct the social paradigm, which has to do with how we're living environmentally as well. It's all interconnected. There is a deconstruction to reconstruct. Okay? And so that's that the energetic emergency is calling for the deconstruction. What do you need to break down, demolish, and deconstruct in order to have and build the reconstruction in the way that it is supposed to be built? And not listening to what's happening in the external experiences, but look at the external, because it's life. Look at it as a reflection of you. It's highlighting to you, where do you need to go in? Where do you need to listen to the wind? Where do you need to let go of sin? Right? Which all sin is a forgetfulness. You sin because you forget. Forgetfulness is the number one cause of sin. So what do we need to do? Remember that ye are gods. When you are remembering your divinity, it prevents you from faltering. So step into your vehicle of divinity. Step into your higher self. Remember the time, fourth dimension. Listen to that right there. Do you remember the time? That's like saying, do you remember 4D? A lot of people don't talk about 4D, but I'm telling you, you can't get into 5D without experiencing 4D. That's order. That's order. And we've been living in 4D, especially a lot of the higher ups, the higher awareness, the more awakened ones have been living in 4D. But it's just not that talked about. It's kind of eludes everyone, kind of elusive. But when you allow for the deconstruction to happen, then you can see 4D. You see it through the experience within time. You see the expansion of the creative experience within time, as time truly exists and not man's construct of time. But through divine time, you become one with this divine time, and it expands your growth. It expands you into the 5th dimension. And if you're already in 5D, we ought to be looking at time right now at the 4D experience in order to continue to expand right where we are within 5D. What is the experience that is happening? What is the time frame? What is the season? Those type of things. Give me the reason and the season. So I say this so we understand this is an energetic emergency. Listen to the wind. Don't just take my word. Listen to the wind. Look at the, as you see that cloud moving, and they done slowed up. It was literally just passing. That's going northward. What you're seeing is what I was talking about, and I was seeing so many of them just pulling north. The trees pulling north, but the birds, caw, they going like, we going south. Spiritual thoughts saying, let's go south. It's an emergency. Go get it. Get what you need to get. And deconstruct so you can reconstruct in the right way. Get an understanding of the 4th dimensional aspect of time so you can get into the expression of it 5D, where it is always existing. Right? And I have some more. I got some other downloads, but I felt as I was sitting out here with this wind, I was going to talk about creation, because that was another one I got today, what creation comes out of, right? Through the binary code of the zeros and ones. And I'm going to break that down. But as I sat out here, I just saw the winds, and it was like, I have to pass this message for whoever is here to see it. This is an emergency, energetic emergency. The energies are speaking very very loudly. I was going to say cloudly because I'm thinking of the clouds. Very loudly through the clouds. Right? So listen. Break up what you need to break up in your life, world, and affairs. I can't say this any more strongly. It is time. There is no more time 4D. This is the time right now. Within time, as the winds pick up, and we know they got us all twisted. They telling us one thing, but something else. It's something else. They either gonna have a freak storm hit here after. Y'all mark my words. If it's not this storm, it's two things. It's either they giving us wrong coordinates on this storm, or they're gonna have a freak storm come right after that. So the message for a lot of Floridians too, especially, is to evacuate. Let me just say it like it is. Evacuate. And I'm not talking just for the hurricane. Oh, no. We got some ish coming. And it's to get out of the way. I'm speaking to my spiritual elites. If you are in Florida, it is time to get out of the way. Make sure you have your evacuation plan and know that you are running out of time. This one right here, this hurricane is being used as a ruse. There's some trickery about it, right? You got to look at the energy behind it. And if it's not this one, there's another freak hurricane they going to have right behind it. So that's on the physical level. But on a spiritual level for us all, recognize that what you're being told is not necessarily what is, being held out there. So to utilize that time, get your affairs in order in whatever way that shows up for you to shift into that next. So as a storm passes, you're prepared. And as a storm comes and demolishes or removes away the debris, that you are fine, because you are in divine's time, fourth dimension. So I'm going to leave that right there. If you've made it this far, please remember to like, subscribe, share, comment if you dare. Leave any emojis, comment. Let me see, is anyone else feeling this energetic emergency? I know I'm not the only one. You could be in Nebraska, somewhere else. You ain't got to be in Florida. Are you feeling the energetic emergencies? You know, let me know if what you're sensing there on your end. Also, don't forget the 5D calendars. Some of you I may have ordered. I'm going to be sending some out. Coming up this week is going to be the next, shipment out. So get yours in. If you want to get yours sent out with the next shipment, go ahead and meet me at a 5D corner near you. And please remember, I'm still looking for Rhonda Calvin, I Am, and Stacy Holder. So faithfully, with this next shipment out, I can get your calendars to you. All right. So with that said, I love you all. Each one, reach one, teach one. If you don't know where to start, start in your big, beautiful heart. Shine your light from the inside out and be the candle that lights the next one and the next one and the next one. Peace, love, and light.